by giving his speech in United Nations General Assembly in 2014. And after 2014, it become a international affair. And now not only India, the Indian ancient traditional yoga is currently observed by more than 190 countries of the world, and this is the specialty of our country. And the slogan of 2021 Yoga Day is Yoga for Wellness. How yoga for wellness? Pooja will just show us, and we will also be try to part of that. So I highly appreciate the making this yoga an international affair by our honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi. And Narendra Modi, as you know, the Prime Minister which at least teaches me that look how you have to work, and you work without sacrificing yourself and your family. A person who is working for the nation, for the globe, by not taking care of his family, but entirely devoted his life for the nation. A person who has devoted his life for the nation, not working for his individuality, his family, that is his personality. And that personality who made the yoga an international affair, a day of pride. So let us come together, join hands, and have wellness, not for physical activity, not for mental activity, but for entire humanity and social activity. Let us see how yoga make us for joy. And for us, it is not a time to give the lecture by us. I also will learn, will try to learn yoga. Pooja was telling where is the place where you will be doing the practice, and I could remember that my wife said what you will do in yoga day, because it is not the day of telling something. I know I said that I will also learn something with Pooja and others. So let us come together and give the place to Pooja for having some kind of a performance or whatever she could do today to make the day and to celebrate the International Yoga Day with our honorable veteran international Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi. Pooja, now the platform is yours. Let us make a yoga day a very successful by our Department of Adult Continuing Education and Extension, Faculty of Social Sciences, a day of celebration, a day of wellness. Thank you. Over to Pooja.
Very well said, sir. It is a day of wellness, the International Day of Yoga, and I thank to the department for providing me this opportunity, for providing me this platform that I can, at least for 1 hour, I can serve people like in terms of yoga or on the path of yoga. So the kind of yogic practices which we are going to do, we should know what kind of yogic practices we will be doing. So we will be practicing Hatha Yoga, and what is the unique thing about Hatha Yoga is that whenever we do practice or any form of practice or exercise we are doing, that will be done with awareness. Otherwise, we are running, trekking and doing anything. It is not merely a physical gymnastics, because there are many people who are in gymnastics, but they are not yogis, or they are not having those benefits. It's not merely on the level of physical level, but it will also help us on mental level as well. So whatever we will do, that will help us on our mental level as well, and on our physical level, also our emotional health. So many levels of health, many aspects of health will be taken care by practicing yoga. So we will start with the prayer, or any doubts or questions will be taken in the end. So now, everyone please come on the mat. Sit comfortably on your mat. And I will appreciate if you adjust the camera so that I can see you as well. because it is the day for practice. Or if there is any issue regarding my audio or video, please let me know. You may sit in Sukhasana or any broad-based position by crossing your legs. Now we shall begin. We will start with Kaya Sthiram. Kaya means the body, Sthiram means making it stable. So check. Your body weight should be equally distributed on both the sit bones, on both the hips. So you're not uneven distribution should not be there, like on one hip we are sitting. And if there is any problem in your knees, you may sit on a chair as well, or you can place a cushion under your buttocks. Now from here, bring your awareness on the breath. Let your head, neck and back in a straight line. Your spine should be perpendicular. Let me show it to you from the sideways. You can observe the spine is in a straight line. So just ensure you are not leaning backward or forward. Exactly perpendicular spine. Let there be grace. You are sitting. And observe how the body is behaving, how the mind is behaving when you are sitting like this. Is it really tough? Allow the body to be still and stable. Now, close your eyes. We cannot directly jump into yogic practices. We need to make a conducive environment for doing yogic practices. So allow the mind to be stable. Let your eyes be closed. Let your chin be parallel to the ground. The pupil of the eyes relaxed. Eyes are not hitting towards the brain cells. First learn to sit, how to sit properly. Correcting the alignment of the spine. It is said in yoga, you are as young as your spine is. So take care. Shoulders are not rolling forward. They are wide open. Allow the chest to be open. Breathe fully and completely. Allow the breath to be deeper and longer. Stay connected with yourself for a while. Observe the pathway of the breath for a while, how the breathing is happening. Be observant to that. Shoulders relaxed, facial muscles relaxed. Tongue and jaws are also relaxed. Now, join your palms in front of the chest. We will start with the prayer. Let your eyes be closed and you may repeat after me. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Astoma Sadgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Tamsoma Jyotirgamaya. We are praying that from untruth we walk towards truth. From the darkness of ignorance we move towards the truth, towards the light of the wisdom, towards the light of the knowledge. And we pray for the Shanti. There are 3 Shantis. First Shanti, to have peace in our internal world. Second Shanti, to have peace in the external world, in our surroundings. Third Shanti, to have peace in the divine world, which is yet unknown to us. And now make a firm note in your mind that with all the heart, you are going to practice on the mat. With all the dedication, you are going to practice on the mat. Now rub your palms vigorously. Let there be warmth. And gently place your palms, warm palms, on your eyes, on your face, on your entire body, and allow the eyes to be opened. Namaste. Now we are formally starting the class. So we will start with the neck movement. The neck movement will enhance the microcirculation around the neck joint. And you know, in all joints, there are lymph nodes. Lymph nodes are actually responsible for our immunity. They capture the toxins and they kill the toxins over there in the lymph nodes, or they take those toxins towards the liver or towards the spleen. So we'll start with the joint movements first. So the first joint we are working on is neck joint, and also it will help on the thyroid gland. So as you inhale, take your neck back, point the chin towards the sky, exhale, bring the chin down to the sternal notch, to the jugular notch. कंठकूप में अपनी ठोड़ी को लगा दें, पर ध्यान रहे कंधे नहीं झुकेंगे. Your shoulders will not be rolling forward, they are wide open. श्वास भरते हुए ग्रीवा को पीछे की ओर ले जाएं. Drop the neck completely back. Exhale. Feel the stretch at the back of the neck. Good for your cervical spine. Inhale. Point the chin again towards the sky. For giving more stretch at the throat, you may also tighten your jaws. अपने दांतों को कसकर दबाएं ताकि आप अपने ग्रीवा वाले, गर्दन वाले हिस्से पर, गले वाले हिस्से पर और खिंचाव अनुभव करें. थायराइड ग्लैंड की फंक्शनिंग के लिए बहुत अच्छा है. For balancing the metabolism process. Exhale. One last time. Inhale, point the chin towards the sky. Be with the process. Be with the practice. Exhale. With inhale, come at the center. So now when you have done this practice, we have actually worked on the cervical spine, because all the time we are working on the screen, on the laptop, looking at the mobile. So screen time is really increased, especially during this lockdown period or during the COVID time. So we need to actually work on our neck. Now we will inhale at the center, and with exhale, we twist our neck towards the right. Let your chin be in line with the shoulder. Inhale back at the center, exhaling to the left. Let there be a nice stretch on the right side. Inhale, come at the center, and as you exhale, twist again on the right. Give a nice twist. Be connected with the practice. Don't allow the mind to run here and there. Inhale back at the center, exhale towards the left. And don't give jerks. Let there be grace in the practice. Let there be beauty in the practice. There is no competition. Yoga is not performance oriented. With inhale, come at the center. Now we will rotate the neck. We inhale at the center, and as we exhale, we bring the chin to the jugular notch, then taking towards the right, making a big rotation. Allow the neck to open up, bringing towards the left shoulder. Again, bringing it the jugular notch. Now on the reverse direction. As you inhale, make a big semicircle, taking the neck at the back. And while coming forward, exhale. One more time, change the direction. Inhale. But keep a check on your alignment. Body weight equally distributed on both the sit bones while you are doing these neck movements. With inhale, come back. So now, just merely by doing this practice, you would be feeling some difference, some openness around the joints, around the shoulder joints. So the next practice will be for our skandha. Skandha means the shoulders. So bring your arms forward, bring your fingers on the shoulders now. With inhale, we take our shoulders up. Now here, don't allow the chin dropping down. Let it be parallel. Point the elbows. अपनी कोहनियों को point करें आसमान की ओर, सीलिंग की तरफ. Let the chest be wide open. Good for the capacity, good for enhancing the capacity of lungs. Breathe deep. Stay here. Breathing is normal. With exhale, bring the elbows down. Inhale, 2. Point the shoulders towards the sky. Let's increase the microcirculation in the body. We always take care of the gross body parts, but not the subtle body parts. Exhale. Inhale, 3. Stay connected with the body movements. Exhale. One more time. Inhale, point the elbows towards the sky. The upper arms are not far away. They are closer to the ears. Don't allow the body to lean backward. Let it be straight. Very good. Exhale, down. Now, let your upper arms be parallel to the ground. Join your elbows, and as you inhale, open the elbows wide as much as you can and draw the shoulder blades towards each other. Open up the chest. Exhale. Again, join the elbows at the front. And
Open the elbows wide. Along with that, open the chest wide. Very good for your respiratory system. Strengthening the respiratory system. Exhale. Inhale. All efforts, we are doing this practice. Rest your arms down, close your eyes for a while, and observe even the minute changes which are happening in the body after the practice. Observe even the subtle changes which are there. Collagenate. Know the truth of the body. In the beginning, we have prayed, Astoma Sadhya. You're not aware about your body. Let's know the truth of this body.
Miss Pooja, your voice is not clear.
Very effective. Let's reach the optimum potential on which this instrument can work. Then we can create a healthy
Miss Pooja, we cannot hear you.
Aware of ourselves. Now, your eyes. We will work on the wrist joint now. Arms. Now bring your thumb inside. Make a fist. Tight fist. From here, start rotating the fist. Bring the fist in front of your chest. Wide open.
पूजा आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही.
Breathing is normal here. Now rotate the fist in reverse direction, but keep it checked. The fists are tightly closed. They are not loose. Let your arms be active. It's not merely a physical exercise, it's a yogic practice. So don't forget to put your awareness within the practice, within the body. You must be aware of what is happening when you are practicing, at least for 1 hour a day. Be aware of what you are doing. Be connected with the practice. Big circle with your wrist joint. Now in the reverse direction, rotate your fist. Now relax. If your legs are hurting, you may change the leg in between. Take a few seconds. You can change the legs and relax them. Now we move further. From here, we are going to practice Parvatasana. So place your palms on the sides. Allow the palms to be joined over the head. Upper arms closer to the ears. Hands straight in the elbows. Chin parallel to the ground. Body weight equally distributed on the sit bones. Stay here. All the time we are squeezing our chest, squeezing our lungs because of the bed posture. We are slouching on the bed or the couch. Arms down. Here to open the chest. Lengthen up the body.
Exhale. Inhale 3. Exhale 3. Inhale 4. And this last round we are going to hold into the practice. Lengthen up the body. Press the palms against each other. Let the hands be straight in the elbow. Stay here. Breathing is normal. Now close your eyes here. अपनी आंखें बंद कर लें और इसी अवस्था में कुछ देर ठहरें. All the time our hands are hanging, so due to gravity the blood is always moving towards the fingers. Now we have reversed the direction of the blood flow. So there is a massaging effect in the muscles of our arms. Stay here like a mountain. Be firm and determined towards your targets and goals. Let's develop the attitude of a mountain, unshakable from your ethics and values. With exhale, bring hands down. Close your eyes and observe what has happened when you have practiced the Parvatasana, mountain posture. Observe even the minute changes. You will feel some openness around the neck joint, around the shoulders, around the elbows. Now we will be doing side bending in the seated posture, because all the time our spine either moves forward or backward, but not on the sides. We never make a side stretch. So place the palms on the sides. As you inhale, lift your right arm up, straight, upper arm closer to the ear, and as you exhale, slide your left palm and allow the forearm to come on the ground and make a nice stretch on the right side. Keep on bending on the left. With inhale, come back, placing the right palm on the ground, raising your left arm up. Inhale completely, and as you exhale, start bending on the right. Make a nice stretch on the left side of the body. Let there be a good stretch. With inhale, come back. We'll practice one more time. Lift the right arm up again. Start bending on the left. Give a nice stretch and feel what is happening. Avoid the forward bend. It's only a side bend. So no forward bending. Avoid this. Open up the chest wide. Stay here for a while. Breathing is normal. Come back. One more time. We will be bending on the right, giving a stretch on the left side of the body. Stay here. Don't allow the hips to be lifted up. The buttocks are on the ground. If one buttock is lifting up, take care of that. No compromise with the body alignment. Inhale, come up, relax. Now we will be giving a nice twist to our spine. So with inhale, raise both the arms up, placing right palm on the left knee and taking left arm back, wrapping our back and twisting on the left side. Keep on twisting. Make a count in your mind for 5 seconds and keep on twisting for next 5 seconds. Breathing is normal. Give a twist to the spine. With inhale, raise your hands up again. Now the left palm on the right knee, right arm wrapping at the back. With exhale, twist for 5 counts in your mind. Keep on twisting, maintain the twist. Intensify the twist with each count. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back. Be seated, relax for a while. Now, let me explain in a brief that what happens when we work on our spine, when we do side bending, when we do twisting. Actually, along with our spine, there are certain ganglions which work like small brains. So they actually coordinate with the other body parts and they control the functioning, be it excretory system, be it digestive system, be it working of the liver, be it reproductive system. So whatever is there along with the spine, because through the spine, through the vertebrae, our spinal cord is running. So through spinal cord, the messages, the nerves are going towards the ganglions. So when we do these twistings, so the nervous system gets better at its functioning. And also, between the vertebrae, there are spinal discs. So what happens when we stretch and twist the body, those vertebrae, those spinal discs are aligned in a proper way, because when we sleep during the day or during the night, they are pinched from certain places. And due to sedentary lifestyle, they are also pinched. So it's better to make certain twists and certain bendings during the day whenever we get some time. Now, let's come to the standing position. So, we will be practicing Tadasana. Stand straight. Let your feet be together. And if it is difficult to keep the feet together, if we are losing balance, so we can keep them little apart or hip at the stance of hip width. So, first come in a straight line position. The body is exactly in a straight line from head to toes. Now, if you can, bring the heels and feet together. Interlock your fingers, flip the palms outside. As you inhale, lift the palms, the arms up. Stay here for a while. Observe how the abdomen is behaving just by merely raising your arms up. Now, as you inhale, lift the heels up. Fix your gaze at one point at your eye level to maintain a better balance. Stay here. The more your mind is calm, the more you will be stable. The more you will be able to balance in this posture. This is Tadasana. Just like a palm tree, raise the body higher and higher. With exhale, bring your heels down. Keep a check. If you have any problem in the knees or any kind of arthritis in the knees, then you have to avoid this practice. Sit on a chair and then just do the practice with your arm. Now, inhale again, raise the heels up, stretch the body, allow the vertebrae to be aligned. Let's correct the posture of the body by lengthening up the body towards the sky, like a palm tree reach towards the heights of the sky. Lengthen up, lengthen up. Don't allow the heels to go apart. With exhale, bring the heels back. We'll practice 2 more times. Inhale, raise the heels up. As much as you can, maintain the posture. Stay here, understand the body, understand the breathing, how the body is behaving. But don't give up. Stay here, hold the posture, fix your gaze at one point so that you can balance better. Exhale, back. One more time. Inhale, lift the body up by raising your heels up. Upper arms are closer to the ears. Stay here, heels are not going apart. Exhale, bring the heels down, bring the arms down. Relax for a while. Take your arms back. Open your feet comfortably, close your eyes, and observe what is happening within the body. After the practice of Tadasana, what is happening? It actually strengthens up the muscles of the legs, the muscles of the arms. Stay here for a while with closed eyes. Now, we will be doing tree posture, Vrikshasana. So this is another balancing asana, another balancing posture. So firmly establish your right foot on the mat. Bend your left leg in the knee and place the left foot at the root of the right thigh, inner thigh. Stay here, maintain here, and then join your palms in front of the chest. Fix your gaze at one point for a better balance. Stay here, like a tree, like a vriksha, deeply rooted and rising higher. Now we'll practice with the other leg. Now firmly establish the left foot and lift the right leg up. Place the right foot at the inner thigh, the root of the inner thigh. Stay here, maintain the balance, fix your gaze at one point, join your palms in front of the chest, like a tree firmly rooted. And let's have an attitude of a tree, of giving nature. Tree always gives fruits, shade, shelter. Similarly, we will also spread the fruits of joy around us, the shade of joy and bliss around us. Come back from the posture. So asanas can really help in the management of our attitude, because every posture we are doing, it is having certain attitude attached with it. And also physical benefits are there. We have practiced tree posture. So when we are standing on one leg, the message goes to the brain that now we are standing on one leg, so more calcium deposition starts happening in our legs. Like in our right leg, it starts happening more, because now the body is receiving message, because we generally stand on both the legs. So it is equally distributed, the weight is equally distributed. Now we are standing on one leg. The body receives the message from the brain, more calcium deposition needs to happen in the right leg, in the bones of the right leg. So the body starts functioning in that way. So in this way, we can strengthen our bones as well. Now the next practice will be some Konasana. We have done side bending in the seated posture, sitting in Sukhasana. Now we'll be doing forward bend. So how we are going to do that? Observe. Stand straight. With inhale, lift your arms up, and as you exhale, you will bend from the lower back, not from the thoracic, because then there will be a hunch. So observe. Inhale, and as we exhale, we bend forward from the lower back, and allowing the upper body to be exactly parallel to the ground. Allowing the body weight to be shifted towards the toes. With inhale, we come back again. So what we have to avoid here, observe that as well. So here what we do, if we can reach up till here, that's okay. Up till here, that's okay, but we will not do like this. This is actually a bad posture. So we are not going to compromise with the alignment. We have to take care of that. So if we are here, that's okay, but we will not curve, not bring a hunch in the spine and do like this. So let's practice. One more time. Inhale, raise the arms up, and as we exhale, start bending from the lower back, a forward bend. This actually strengthens the lumbar muscles, the muscles of the legs, the back muscles of the legs, the hamstrings, the calves. Stay here. Allow the body to be parallel. Inhale, come up. We'll practice one more time. Stay here for a while. Inhale completely, and as you exhale, bend forward. Staying here for a while, and as we inhale, we come up. And relax our arms. Now, we'll be making a backward bend. So it is Ardha Chakrasana, which we are going to do. Now we have opened up the back side. Now we will open the front side. So how we have to practice? We will place the thumbs parallelly at the, like this is our spine. So on the sides of the spine, we will place our thumbs parallel, fingers towards the front side. So this will be the position. We will open up the chest. With inhale, we drop the neck back and open up our thoracic spine. With exhale, we come back. So here, what we have to do, we have to bend a little from the lumbar, but more from the thoracic. We are not supposed to do like this, pushing the pelvis forward and then bending. No, we have to avoid this. More of the bending has to happen from the cervical and from the thoracic spine. So the spine behind our chest is thoracic spine. So we have to correct the posture as well. And allow the elbows to be pulled towards each other, shoulder blades drawn towards each other. Inhale, drop the neck back, open up the thoracic, open up the chest. Exhale, come back. Now, come to the lying down position. Lie down in Shavasana. I hope everyone must be aware with this asana, at least. Lie down in Shavasana. Relax on your mat for a while. We have sat for a long time in Sukhasana. Lie down on the mat. Comfortable distance between the feet. And if there is some alignment correction, I will tell you. Sit like this first. And then vertebra by vertebra, vertebra by vertebra. Lie down on the mat. Let your legs be comfortably apart. Palms open. Palms facing towards the sky or the ceiling, eyes closed, relax for a while. This is your time to relax. Let your eyes be closed. Relax for a while. Now, the next practices, I will not be demonstrating them. You will be able to easily follow with my instructions. So lie down on the mat. Relax completely with closed eyes. Observe the body. Let your awareness be on the lower back. There is arch in the lower back. Allow that arch to be reduced a little. Allow the lower back to reach towards the ground a little more. Observe the body parts which are touching the mat. Now, observe the body parts which are not touching the mat. The parts which are not touching the mat, allow them to move towards the gravity more. No resistance against the gravity. Let the body sink down. This is Shavasana. Shava means like a corpse. The body is still. No movement. Actually, Shavasana is the hardest asana which we say in yogic tradition because it is very easy to calm the body, but it is very difficult to calm the mind, to make the mind still. So the real Shavasana happens when we make our mind still. Take your time. Relax completely. Now we will be moving towards Pavana Muktasana. Pavan means the wind. Mukta means releasing or liberating the wind. So which kind of wind we are talking about? So this is the wind, this is the air which is accumulated in our digestive tract. So this is Apana Vayu we call in yogic tradition. Apana means which is not there to be reside in our body. It is supposed to be released. So even in the form of air, toxins are captured in our digestive tract. So it helps in relieving that wind, and also it has certain other benefits like it helps in soothing our back issues. Like if someone is having pain in the back, it is really a very helpful posture. So how we have to do this? I will demonstrate it once. We from Shavasana come back to in a straight line position, palms facing towards the ground, toes pointing towards the sky. Now from here, bend your right leg in the knee, bring your right knee towards the chest. With the thigh muscles, allow the abdomen to be pressed. And now use your hands to apply some more force. And with the exhale, bring the right knee towards the chest. But keep a check on the left leg. The left foot is not falling to the left or right. It is pointing towards the sky. Left leg is active. So when you are pressing, when you are applying force with your hand on the right knee, right thigh is pressing the ascending colon. So our large intestine is having sudden colons. So we are pressing the right ascending colon. Also it helps in the movement, enhancing the movement of the fecal matter to be flushed out of the body. Now with next exhale, lift your head up, bring it towards the right knee. Stay here for a while. With inhale, come back. While doing any practice, keep a check. If a practice is leading you towards the pain, we have to avoid that practice. But if there is little discomfort, that is okay, but not the pain. Now bend the left leg in the knee. Right leg is also active. It is not falling on the left or right. It is active. Bend the left leg in the knee. Bring the left thigh towards the abdomen. Now use your hands. Apply force with your hand. With exhale, lift the head up. This time, the descending colon is being pressed. The abdominal organs are being squeezed. Like we squeeze. जैसे हम कपड़े निचोड़ते हैं, उसी तरह का इफेक्ट हमारे एब्डोमेन पर भी आ रहा है. Now with inhale, bring the palms back, head back and make your legs straight. Now we will practice Pawan Muktasana with both the legs. So bend both the legs in the knees, bring the knees towards the chest, interlock your fingers over the shin, apply force with your hands, raise your head up if it is comfortable for you. Stay here for a while. Let the abdominal organs be squeezed. Let there be squeezing effect with every exhale. Allow the abdominal muscles, allow the abdominal organs to be pressed more by applying force with your hands. With inhale, bring your head down. Stay here for a while. Don't release the legs and hands now. Stay here. Squeeze the abdominal organs as much as you can, because soon we are going to release this posture. And now the blood is rushing towards these organs. So the rushing blood gives a massaging effect to the abdominal organs. And you know all the vital organs lying down in the abdominal cavity, be it liver, intestine, stomach, spleen, pancreas. So the functioning of all these organs get enhanced. They get better at their functioning. Now, the next practice we are going to do is Setu Bandha. Setu means the bridge posture. So here, bring both the feet together, bodies in a straight line, bend the legs in the knee, keep your feet at hip width apart and knees are also at hip width apart. Now with inhale, we are going to raise our buttocks up, lower back up, thoracic spine up, and let there be constriction at the throat muscles. This is beneficial for thyroid gland. Now imagine that someone is pulling you from the navel and lift the abdomen more up. Engage your lumbar muscles. Stay here in the posture. Breathing is normal. And also, now you will see the body is in a form of a right angle triangle. Knees are perpendicular to the ground and the slant line with our trunk and our thighs. So here what happens? The blood is rushing towards the abdominal organs, towards the chest, towards the lungs, towards the heart, towards the face, towards the brain. So actually the nourishment is happening of the lungs, of the heart, of all the organs in the trunk. Stay here for a while with exhale, come back. We will practice one more time and we will hold in the final position. Inhale, lift the buttocks up, the lower back up, thoracic spine up. Stay here for a while. Let's say for 5 counts. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back and relax in Shavasana. Now, being in Shavasana, observe your abdominal muscles. Observe around your navel with closed eyes. Observe how the abdomen is behaving, the rhythm of the abdominal muscles. When you are breathing in and out, what is happening? Breathe deep and long to observe the movement of the abdomen. You are in Shavasana. So place your right palm on your abdomen and then observe the movement of the abdominal muscles. With inhale, what is happening? Let the breath be deep and long. But the breathing will be noise-free, jerk-free. When you do abdominal breathing like this, what happens? We expand the lungs, we fill the lungs to the fullest, and the diaphragm muscle just below the lungs push down and outward the abdominal organs. So, due to diaphragm movement, due to the movement of this diaphragm muscle, the abdominal organs are pushed and pulled outward and inward, respectively. So there is a massaging effect. Gentle massaging is happening of all the vital organs. So hence, abdominal breathing is really beneficial for the functioning, for enhancing the functioning of these abdominal organs. And also, when you intensify this abdominal breathing, the effect reaches up to the lower abdomen as well. So it's really good for the reproductive organs as well. Now, take a side turn, come to the seated posture in Sukhasana. If there is any issue with knees, you can come on a chair and practice. Now, we will be practicing Kapalabhati breathing. Kapalabhati, generally people call it as a pranayam, but in Hatha Yoga, if we go technically, it is a cleansing practice. There are 6 practices mentioned in Hatha Yoga. So Kapalabhati is the cleansing practice because here we exhale with a force. So active exhalation is there, inhalation happens passively. So how we are going to do this? Observe. We inhale, completely fix the shoulders and chest, but keeping the alignment of the body intact, and we start exhaling. So what happens? We are not distorting the facial muscles, or shoulders are not jumping, up and down. Our body is not shaking. The body will be fixed. The body is rigid, but yes, abdomen is bearing all the jerks. No jerks going anywhere else. The jerk happens only at the abdominal level. So you can also place your palm on the abdomen and observe the movement of the abdomen. Once again, inhale, fix your shoulders and chest. So like this, we are going to practice further 30 rounds. Per second, there will be a stroke. And what should be the force of exhalation? Just like imagine there is a candle flame in front of you and we have to blow that candle with our breath. So that much force is required, not more than that and not less than that. So take the position, correct the alignment, close your eyes, inhale, fix the shoulders and chest, and now start expelling the breath away actively. Now, stay here with closed eyes and observe the after effects of Kapalabhati. Kapala means the skull, the forehead. Bhati means the shine. So how this happens? How the Kapala shines? How the forehead shines? So the toxins are not actually in the body, not only in the form of, not only in the body parts, but the toxins are also captured in the form of air within our lungs. The toxic air is also there. So what happens when we do Kapalabhati, it gives a ventilation effect to our lungs, and the upper respiratory tract get a cleansing effect, and also our sinuses. So here in the forehead, in the cheekbones, around the nose, there are sinuses. So generally, due to dust particles, the mucus is released by the body, and those dust particles are captured, but the mucus doesn't get a chance to get liquefied. So Kapalabhati increases the temperature of the body and it liquefies that mucus. So right now we have done only 30 strokes, but actually ideally at least 90 strokes should be done in one go. And the navel should hit at the back with every stroke. So let's practice 10 more strokes. Inhale, fix the shoulders and chest, start. When we do 90 strokes, the real benefit will come at that time, but it's really the beginning. So it's okay to do 30 strokes or 40 strokes in one go. Now, be seated with closed eyes. Observe the mind, how it is. When you started doing the practice and after the practice, observe the difference in the mind. Even if there is no difference, it's okay. Be connected with the body. Ensure the body alignment again. We are belonging to the Indian subcontinent, so we must know the authentic yogic practices, the right way of doing yogic practices. Explore more on yoga. And share this knowledge with others as well. Now, join your palms in front of the chest. Let your eyes be closed. Let's have an attitude of gratitude that out of 24 hours, you got some time for yourself. This 1 hour for your self-healing. This is the real health investment, actually. And By working on our body, on our mind for this 1 hour, we are actually working on the internal glamour. When there will be internal glamour, it will be manifested externally as well. People will feel joy, people will feel blissful when they will come into your surroundings. So why not to choose be a joyous being, a blissful being? Be thankful. Be thankful to yourself, to the divine residing in your heart who guided you to sit for this 1 hour and do the yogic practices. Allow your head to bow down in gratitude, count your blessings, and take a pledge that at least for 1 hour you will appear on the mat. At least you will practice 4 to 5 asanas. That's okay. Whatever is the way you are practicing, if you keep on practicing, those 4 asanas will start improving. Start learning yoga from the authentic sources. Allow the head to bow down. Now rub your palms. Gently place them on your eyes, on your face, on your body. Sit comfortably. Don't open your eyes right now. With every inhale, you are inhaling joy. With every exhale, you are liberating yourself from tension, liberating yourself from complaints, from grudges. With every inhale, the joy is coming, the bliss is coming. With every exhale, liberate yourself, unclutter your mind from the toxic thought processes. You don't need them. This 1 hour on the mat is necessary to be yogic for the rest of 23 hours. Yoga should not be only on the mat. Off the mat, how you are behaving, it shows how much yogic one is. Now we pray. You may opt to repeat after me, or you may choose to be silent. We are ending the session formally with the Shanti Pata. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kasyid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So we pray, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah. May all beings be happy. Sarve Santu Niramaya. May all remain disease-free. There should not be any uneasiness in the body, in the mind. Sarve Santu Niramaya. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. May all beings observe Bhadra. Bhadra means what is beautiful in others. May we see the beauty in others. Whatever is beautiful in others, may we appreciate that. Ma Kasyid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. And may all beings be free from any kind of the dukkha. With this prayer, we are formally ending this session. It was a wonderful to be with all of you, though I was not able to observe all of you, and I was not able to make corrections because this is not a one-on-one session, but it was a wonderful time with you. You all gave your precious time, your 1 hour, to listen to me. I'm very thankful and wish you all a very happy International Day of Yoga. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, Pooja.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Pooja. बहुत अच्छा लगा.
I hope you enjoyed the session.
Yes, yes, I enjoyed. Pooja, madam ने भी किया तुम्हारे साथ साथ.
Okay, that's great. हाँ जी.
हाँ, ये भी जुड़ी हुई.
जी जी
बहुत अच्छा रहा, रियली एंजॉयिंग,
बहुत ही अच्छा सेशन रहा
वी
पूजा।
लर्नड ए लॉट।
जी।
और ये पता ही नहीं चला 1 आवर कैसे चला गया, ऐसा लगता है 10 मिनट ही हुए।
Actually, sir, the target of yoga is not to make a person feel exhausted. Rather, one should feel blissful after completing the 1 hour or the yogic practices. Actually, that is the target or the goal of Hatha Yoga.
Certainly, certainly, certainly. After yoga, what I feel that I should not speak, I should just remain calm for a while, and you just made entire day at least very calm, and it's a really a very pleasant International Yoga Day, and we all will begin with wellness puja. Thank you
जी
for
जी
providing your very very valuable time, and we'll get back to you soon. Since you are in Delhi, I hope let us hope that we'll get some opportunity to have some kind of a physical activities also of yoga. Let's hope that very soon this time will again come and we'll enjoy. Thank you, Pooja. If you have to
Thank you,
say
sir.
anything, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank,
everyone.
thank you. Thanks a lot. Thanks
Are
a
you
lot.
from
Thank you,
Shivananda,
ma'am.
madam?
Yeah.
Thank you, madam.
Are you from
Thank you,
Shivananda,
sir.
madam?
Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you
Thank
all,
you, sir.
Rameshwar. Thank you,
बहुत ही
Vijay.
अच्छा
Thank
सेशन
you,
रहा पूजा
everybody,
जी,
for
बहुत अच्छा
making a
सेशन।
day. Abhishek, everybody is here. Thank you, everybody. I think Parnita, all are here. Tanu, I just thank you all for joining today. And it was our day. It was our day, which Pooja made it very wonderful, joyful. I think thank you all, Pooja, not taking your more time.
For
Thanks a lot.
organizing, sir. Thank you so much for organizing.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Parnita.
sir.
Thank you.
Madam, are you
Thank
from
you. Thank you,
Shivananda?
Vijay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Are you teacher from Shivananda, madam?
No, actually, I'm not from Shivananda. I
Are you
have
career
learned
and
from different schools. So,
okay,
but
okay.
yes, obviously, there are certain teachings from Shivananda which I have incorporated.
Yeah.
So, but not formally, I have not taken any education from Shivananda.
Oh, okay, madam. So thank you so much.
Ji, ji, thank you.